listen very carefully to hear the little melody.
HildaHUMPHREY, a geeky, nerdy, rebellious, hellchild slut with a drug problem gone brainwashed newborn Christian. Anyhow, HildaHUMPHREY was once a very nice girl.
Everybody sing!
With wonderful parents and a beautiful home and a sweet little dog named Lola. 1982. Easter Sunday morning. Hilda, her little brother, and her parents were on their way to church. That's when it happened. Smash, crush, splat. It was a major trauma for poor little Hilda. And from that day on, Hilda became a geeky, nerdy, rebellious, pimple-faced hellchild. Her parents didn't quite know what to do with her once sweet, but now geeky and nerdy, rebellious, pimple-faced hellchild. On her 16th birthday, she became even worse, and puberty had really kicked in.
Happy birthday, dear Hilda. Happy birthday to you. Hilda, say cheese.
But she had also become a slut. 16 years old and on the verge of becoming a prostitute. And her popularity in school increased enormously. And there was one guy that didn't already know her process.
Shut up, come on folks, let's talk about the chemistry of love, sexual education, and my name is Mr. Winter. Shut up, come on, Hilda, be quiet. Shut up. Hilda!
A geeky, nerdy, rebellious, hellchild slut who would have sexual intercourse with just about anything with two legs, that prick.
That was good, huh, baby?
Yeah.
Oh my God. What? I think my rubber broke.
Shit, no.
That always happens. Is it good?
Well,
What? Was that too small for you?
small but energetic.
I really hate to tell you this, Mr. and Mrs. Humphrey, but your daughter, see, is a geeky, nerdy,
Rebellious.
hellchild.
Man, their brains just turn off, their dicks turn on. And as soon as that happens, there's not really much a poor girl can do.
Sweetie, I
I think it's time to talk about the birds and the bees.
After the story about the birds and the bees, things seemed to be getting a little better for little Hilda. One day, as she was walking home from school, Hilda got picked up by Trevor Thrasher in his flash car. Let me tell you, Trevor Thrasher was the slimiest grease in the whole town and was well known as a spreader of gonorrhea.
I want to be like the king.
But nothing intimidated Hilda.
I want to be right. I want to be like Elvis. I want to be like the king.
Mom? Dad? I gotta tell you something. First I thought I was just gaining a little bit of weight. After a while, I noticed I think I'm pregnant.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Pretty soon, Hilda found herself spread out in a gynecologist's chair with her toes pointing to heaven and a plastic tube stuck into her private parts.
I'm scared, doctor.
Now don't worry, Hilda. This won't hurt a bit.
Hilda had a really bad conscience. All she could do is lay around in bed all day depressed. And she was too ashamed to go back to school, so she just dropped out. And she still hated her parents for killing her little sweet dog, Lola.
Honey, I hope it's just a phase.
After several difficult months of severe depressions, Hilda entered her experimental phase. She discovered that all she had to do to feel better is to pop a pill and her depressions were gone. It was better than sex for Hilda. She would dance for hours like a monkey gone rabid. And for the first time since Lola's death, she appeared to be happy. But Hilda's mother was pretty suspicious about Hilda's newfound happiness. So she started snooping around in her bedroom while Hilda wasn't there. It was a nightmare come true for Mrs. Humphrey. Anyhow, after a bit of counseling of Reverend Bob, Hilda was placed in a drug rehabilitation clinic. So it was. She did well in rehab. Hilda was given psychological counseling and various jobs as a new type of experimental youth therapy. But cleaning the fudge and pea stains from the toilet rim just wasn't Hilda's kind of therapy.
Sweetie.
I'm sick. I'm in hell. I'm in rehab.
You little geeky, nerdy, rebellious hellchild slut with a truck prop. If you're bitchy enough to complain, then you're bitchy enough to go get a real job. Huh? Raus! Little bitch.
After a week, she finally found a company that would take her on.
Welcome to Barney's Burger Barn. May I help you?
She had a super geek for a manager named Rolf Wurst, whose pimple problems seemed to rotate as often as the French fry fat.
Okay, honey. So now I've explained everything there is to know about how to make French fries to you, right? I think it's about time I showed you the love closet.
Oh, Hilda, you keep up the good work, and you'll go far.
Rolf was quite pleased with Hilda's performance. And before long, Hilda worked her way up to the Employee of the Month.
Men, their brains turn off, their dicks turn on. And as soon as that happens, there's not really much a poor girl can do.
Anyhow, Rolf Wurst, the manager, was so pleased with Hilda's performance that he made her the Employee of the Month 3 times consecutively in a row.
The worst? I've got to tell you something.
Yeah.
I'm sick. I'm in hell. I'm pregnant.
No. God. You geeky, nerdy, rebellious, hell-child slut with a drug problem. You're fired.
When the rehabilitation clinic found out that she got knocked up again, they kicked her out too. Hilda went back to her parents and had to tell them that she was pregnant again. Mr. Humphrey went straight to the slimy hamburger joint where Rolf is the manager.
Hello, Mr. Humphrey. Oh, no need to overreact. Okay. You have two choices, Mustang. You marry my daughter, or I make Ralph Burger out of you. Okay.
Anyhow, Rolf and Hilda ended up getting a loan at 15% interest to buy a little trailer out in the boondocks where they could live happy and raise little hell childs.
Come here. Hey, I said come here.
And above all, she now had two wonderful little brats that resembled her father, Mr. Humphrey. But pretty soon, Rolf lost his job in the slimy hamburger joint. And he just sat around all day and watched TV.
It's all your fault, Hilda. If it weren't for you, I'd probably be regional manager at Barney's by now.
I once saw Hilda in the grocery store. Despite her good fortune, she didn't look too happy to me. She still looked like a geeky, nerdy, rebellious, hell-child slut with a drug problem, and she was pregnant again.
Worthless bitch.
But despite all misfortune, Hilda was all in all quite happy. Anyhow,
Yes, hello, sexy Hilda here.
after a while, Hilda was forced to get a side job to pay the mortgage on the trailer. So it was.
When handsome Harry joins the
Oh yeah, just relax and lay down. Start breathing harder. Oh, I can feel you. I'm getting real hot.
Hey. Who the hell is this? Hey, dick brain.
Give me
I'm
the
gonna
bag.
come over. You can't talk to my wife like
Go
that.
back. Shit. I'm sorry. You still... Shit, what did you do? Back.
fresh freeway clean to both enjoy.
Stupid asshole! It's my job! Who's gonna earn some money here? You're drinking beer all day! Fuck you!
Anyhow, a few months later, Hilda and Rolf got into a major fight.
What are you doing? You crazy or what? Stop this shit, loser! You asshole!
What a loser!
You shit!
I'm out of here! Yeah, go ahead, run away! Yeah, you gave a pretty good blowjob, baby, but I never loved you anyway!
He just left Hilda alone with 2.5 little nerdy brats. As the rumor goes, Rolf would call every once in a while threatening to kidnap those 3 little hell children.
Hello, Hilda?
Hi, Hilda. It's Ralph. I'm gonna kidnap the kids.
Go ahead. Kidnap the little brats. I don't want them anyway. Dickhead.
Rolf chickened out and never ever called back again. Last I've heard of HildaHUMPHREY is that the welfare department took her 3 little brats away from her, and that she apparently had joined some kind of a strange abuse women's group where she found her inner peace and a link to God. Since then, I've seen her a couple of times. And I'm telling you, HildaHUMPHREY still looks like a geeky, nerdy, rebellious hellchild slug with a drug problem. Gone brainwashed newborn Christian. Yes, gracious. God bless her soul. Wait a minute. Anyhow, now you know the story about little HildaHUMPHRey, a geeky, nerdy, rebellious hellchild slut with a drug problem, gone newborn, brainwashed Christian. Oh. I mean, this world is not too bad. I mean, who wants to be a child in this world nowadays anyway? No way. It's trash, really. Nobody loves you, nobody takes care of you anyhow. The government doesn't give a shit if there's money for you guys or not. I mean, look.
We are part of a dream that has become reality.
dun, dun, dun.